You know what's fascinating? I just read about this framework called Slime that's making waves in AI training.
Oh, slime. I've heard a bit about it. It's supposed to enhance reinforcement learning, right?
Exactly, it combines high-performance training with flexible data generation. I mean, that's a game changer.
For sure, but I wonder how it handles the complexity of data generation. Isn't that often a bottleneck?
Great point. The framework is designed to allow custom data generation workflows, which sounds pretty efficient.
Custom workflows could really optimize the process. Does it integrate with existing models?
Yep, it supports a bunch of models like GLM and QN series. That's pretty impressive for versatility.
Versatility is key, but I do wonder if that breadth comes at the cost of depth in any specific area.
That's interesting. There's definitely a risk of overextension. How well can it really perform with so many models?
Exactly. And I read somewhere that while it's powerful, the evidence on its performance across all models is mixed.
Right, and that raises questions about its optimization. I mean, does it really improve training across the board?
I think it depends. The framework excels in certain applications, like the P1 project for physics reasoning.
P1 is a great example. It uses adaptive mechanisms to enhance reasoning, which is super innovative.
But would that work for all types of learning tasks? There's a risk of overfitting to specific use cases, right?
Definitely, I wonder if they've considered scenarios where it might not generalize well.
That would be crucial to explore. Also, with adaptive difficulty in environments, I wonder how that impacts learning curves.
Great question. Tailoring problem difficulty could be beneficial, but there's a fine line before it becomes frustrating.
Right? You want to challenge learners without overwhelming them. Balancing that is tricky.
Totally, and speaking of challenges, the Triton Forge project caught my eye too. It's all about GPU kernel generation.
Oh, I saw that. It's fascinating how it combines supervised training with reinforcement learning.
Exactly, that two-stage approach might solve some of the inefficiencies in kernel optimization.
But will it consistently outperform existing methods? That's a big claim.
True, the burden of proof is on them. It'd be good to see empirical evidence backing these claims.
And I wonder about the scalability of these projects. Can they handle increased loads without compromising speed?
That's a critical question. The April framework addresses long-tail generation, which is promising.
Right, but how much does it really reduce training time? I'd love to see some before and after comparisons.
Exactly, data transparency is key in convincing skeptics. It's all about performance metrics.
Speaking of transparency, I'm curious how they plan to handle user contributions and feedback.
Oh, they welcome contributions. That open approach could really fuel community engagement.
But does that lead to inconsistency? I hope they have a solid framework for quality control.
Good point, user-generated content can be a double-edged sword. Quality assurance is essential.
Exactly. And what about the documentation? Is it user-friendly enough for developers?
It seems comprehensive, but let's see if it's accessible to newcomers. Complexity can be a barrier.
For sure. If they want to foster a community, that documentation needs to be top-notch.
Totally agree, and I love how Slime is at the intersection of research and deployment. So many possibilities.
Absolutely. It's exciting to think about where this could lead. New projects, innovations, the works.
But as always, we need to think critically about these advancements. What could go wrong?
Right? There's always a risk of hype outpacing reality. Careful evaluation is crucial.
So it sounds like Slime is promising, but must be approached with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Exactly. And with all these insights, I wonder what the next big breakthrough will be in AI training.
Who knows? It's an exciting time for AI. I can't wait to see what develops next.